escape. It's not a sword.
I would like to see... I don't know. What do I want to see? I guess let's go with the fire rod. Because sometimes that can be a little tricky because it uses up a little more magic. And so you kind of have to balance the amount of enemies you're killing to try to get your bombs.
Real quick, we just got a crystal, a map check, and it's all crystals in the light world.
Yeah, I think Eastern is a red crystal here as well.
Yep. So I want to see Red King. Our runners are about to hit it, and it's the hammer, the freest of items.
Hits like a truck, tempered sword damage, can take out all these guards through the escape. Search for those bombs. So nice.
I think the most important thing is that it unlocks quite a bit of the map. Not right away, but hammer's the thing you're looking for to get your Dark World access and to get a lot of Dark World access.
That's very true. Yeah, it's one piece of the puzzle that we've already found. And that's kind of what I like about this standard randomized swords thing is, like, this tournament is so cool because based on the starting equipment, like, you already start thinking about some of the routes that these players may have to make. Like, if we find the powder early on, we may have to go visit Magic Bat, right? So, you know, it's super cool to kind of just theorize about these things.
Definitely makes it interesting. This whole escape portion before was very standard. You get 6 minutes to go through escape here with a sword. There was nothing really special. Get a handful of items, like 6 things that you might get. But yeah, with these items, you can see how people might route things differently. How do they use these items faster? Especially with something like a bomb start, you can see the people who've practiced it and can do it quickly compared to those who are trying to wing it.
Exactly. And we do see crossproduct kind of going out of the way a little bit there to grab that full magic jar. prieR's comfortable with his magic right now. I mean, we don't have any items that consume magic, so it's not really a big deal. But, you know, that's just comfort level and playstyle.
Sure, you never know when you might actually need some early magic. Until you can beat a dungeon, it can actually be difficult to get a magic refill quickly.
Yeah, and based on the item set that they have, they may not be able to beat a dungeon early on. They may have to, you know, double dip through things, because we don't have the bow. We can't complete Eastern, but maybe that's where the progression is.
Yeah. So we already got the map. There's a small key somewhere. Okay, right there. So small key map, those are the other non-items that you'll get. So everything else in this dungeon will be an item. Now, our runners are trying to find a bomb. Because either boots, of course, but there's only one chest that can give them boots. Ideally, an enemy will drop a bomb, and they can check the back half of escape.
Yeah, 3 items going to be there, locked behind that bomb. So, certainly worthwhile killing as many enemies as you can to try to get it. But the sewers does have a bunch of rats and snakes that we'll be able to take out coming up here.
Doesn't look like the guards are dropping bombs for us.
It's kind of nice that we got that early mail, though. That might incentivize some of these players to go for some more dangerous strategies.
Yeah, no hearts, but I mean, the blue mail's pretty much double hearts.
We got prieR with some right side castle strats and cross with some left. Always fun to see.
Still no bombs.
I think we'll see these players get a lot more aggressive in the sewers, but crossproduct's being pretty thorough and just not getting rewarded for it.
Well, so the blue knights are on a different prize pack compared to the green knights, so it was worth a try to see if they would drop one. And hammer's the best thing. There's a bomb for prieR on the snakes.
Well, there are 6 snakes in that room, so definitely an easy place to farm them up. But you got to be careful. prieR's down to a heart now.
Wow, nothing for cross. We know the bombs are in that prize pack because it dropped for prieR, but There it is.
All right, this is good. These guys are on even footing. Same rupee count, same bomb count. But prieR managed to get there a little quicker.
Yeah, almost same heart count. That's funny. All right, what do we got in this back 3 chests?
It's a piece of heart, some rupees, and bombs. That's convenient, at least.
There's the bombs. That's good for Kakariko, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we actually got a good amount of cash. A couple 50 rupee drops there in some of these chests, so we are gonna be able to buy that bottle vendor item and purchase more bombs once we're through Kakariko.
So I know Cross's sprite is Will from Illusion of Gaia. I don't recognize prieR's sprite.
I want to say it's like Santa Link.
Yeah, it has like a... Yeah. Maybe. Santa Link. Oh, okay. Sure. That's a thing. I like how the hat like bobs up and down. That's actually silly.
It's a nice touch.
Alright, so it's going to be pretty standard, at least for the first 5 minutes. Oh, additional minutes that we have here. Heading on over towards the Kakariko and Lost Woods section, we'll see if maybe either of our runners decide to check lumberjacks for us.
I think prieR is probably checking it right now.
That is a nice tier 2 tree pull, giving us red rupees. Easy to farm rupees then.
That is really nice. Just a piece of heart at lumberjack here, so Aghanim not necessarily on their minds right now, but might still be required to get to the Dark World.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the Aghanim hype is pretty low. Once we find the glove and Moon Pearl, of course, it will kill Aghanim at this point. I mean, they won't kill Aghanim. It will kill the potential for us needing to go to Aghanim.
Exactly, and we did find out what is in the tier 1 prize pack from Cross. He did end up going and checking it out, and it is arrows, so if they want to restock, that is a good opportunity. But without the bow, we're not going to be able to spend those just yet.
Alright, prieR's going to make his way into Kakariko. There's a ton of items here. Looks like Cross is setting up the tier 3 as well. There's 3 different tiers of items that you can get from pulling the trees. It depends on how many enemies you kill, with tier 1 being 1 to 3 enemies that you kill, and tiers 2 and 3 based on killing 4 enemies. At least 4.
But it also depends if you've taken some damage, and yes, the flute and the book. Whoa! This might be signaling desert, and there's an easy way to get there now.
Yeah, fluting over is not bad, but they can't beat it yet. You need a fire source and a glove in order to beat. And we don't even know about the boot situation either.
Exactly. But it certainly puts Desert Palace and the Desert Ledge in the logic. There might be something in that first chest that you can just walk to, the map chest. If that has an item, that might be progression.
Yeah.
Maybe force double dip.
I mean, it does give you an easy excuse to also go to Agina, which is something that's within the Sphere 1 logic, and there's flippers.
And a cool blue boomerang to go with it.
This seed is being too generous right now. Where's the trolls? Fire Rod! What?
You just had to show up, Jet, and make this into a Jet seed, didn't you?
I didn't generate it, I swear.
But honestly, I like when we get like a handful of items that can branch you into a lot of different directions. And that's kind of what's going on here. We can, flute up to Death Mountain. We can go over to Desert. We can still go to Eastern, like we always can. We can swim over to Zora. There's a lot of options right now on the table.
Yeah, I'm curious what path our runners are going to take here. I mean, in terms of real progression, we can go into desert, and we can also check out the Zora area, in addition to everything else they can normally reach. Hammer still doesn't play a part just yet.
Getting close, though. If we do find the hook shot, that can allow us access to Tower of Hera.
Yep. Alright, confirmation on prieR side from our crystal situation. It means 3 of the Dark World dungeons are pendants.
That could certainly make for a quick seed. But we may have to delve into some of them to find our progression, too, so
Yep.
that can kind of throw some of these players off guard.
The randomizer doesn't care if it's pendant or crystal. It can be an item, they can reach it.
Mm-hmm. All right, we got prieR going to the dam. Certainly a great place to go with that flute. A lot of item density over here and in Mini Moldorm Cave, so probably going to see that. And then maybe we'll see the play on some of these Flippers lock locations. Maybe you'll see him go somewhere else, but I like the play for now.
Real quick, cross product, gonna have a chat with Cross in the inn. I'm glad I know sign language. It's pretty handy. No. See, he gets a bomb because that is not a cross product original pun.
And we did grab the Moon Pearl here outside the dam, so we are a lift upgrade away from the Dark World.
I guess that's important. You might need it. Alright, let's see what Mini Moldorm Cave has. Ooh, Fire Rod Strat's neat.
Hey, you gotta use what you got.
Yeah.
Use all your weapons.
Hammer.
The hammer as well.
Has such a weird hitbox, so definitely nice to use the Fire Rod here. Looks like cross product is following in prieR's footsteps here. Up the 5 hearts, blue mail. And that's it! Wow! You don't usually see absolutely nothing in Mini Moldorm Cave.
You really don't, and I mean, that works for me. I mean, we found so many items already.
Yeah.
So I guess Kakariko was just a little more loaded.
Alright, prieR's gonna take a walk on up to Ice Rod Cave, see if there's anything there before he makes his decision. We're gonna have to see, does he go to Eastern for 5 to 6 items? Does he go over to Desert for, what is that, 2 to 4 items, depending on the placement? Or are we gonna see, Death Mountain? Or Zora area, which is like another 5 items.
Yeah, I mean, we don't quite have the cash for Zora. That the single rupee at Ice Rod is certainly not going to help. But we can check Hobo and we can check the Waterfall Ferry and see what's out on the ledge.
I mean, the tier 2 tree pull, which means you kill at least 4 enemies and you get hit, is red rupee, so it's not that bad to farm. Alright, prieR is making his way over towards Eastern.
I mean, it's 3 quick items at Sahasrahla, so it's a nice place to go. And then you can kind of decide from there, do I want to make the dive into Eastern? Because I don't have the bow, this might be a double dip, but it's a pretty quick dungeon.
In terms of losing time, if you were to double dip this dungeon, you only lose roughly a minute. So, better to check the things now, because there's a glove behind Sahasrahla.
Alright, so that's our Dark World access, so we can go straight into Village of Outcasts, or we could head down to Hype Cave. We'll see where prieR decides to go.
Yeah, he's not going into Eastern. He's gonna go right to Dark World with a quick pit stop at Desert.
Interesting. Piece of heart on the ledge, and it looks like he's gonna go right in, and then maybe he'll take the exit out. I mean, maybe Desert's completable.
Right.
That's what's kind of interesting about this, but if boots are required, he'll kind of get stuck.
As I mentioned earlier, you need a glove, you need a fire source in order to beat this dungeon. Alright, we got some divergence. Cross is going to take a look at the water stuff. So is this completable? We'll find out based on if he finds a key, small or big, in this chest. It's just a shovel. So
Well,
we don't even know if it's worth.
That's interesting. That could pay off. We didn't see him exit the dungeon. Like, you can exit through the right door. It can be a little slow, and then actually go to Agina's cave, but he decided not to do it.
So we just got Ice Rod from the hobo. So Turtle Rock looking pretty good.
Pendant Turtle Rock looking pretty good. Oh, we'll see.
So Cross is also going into desert. He'll get his shovel shortly. Keep in mind, he has not visited Sahasrahla, where our glove and Dark World access are.
I think this is prieR. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he's gonna make his way into Hype Cave, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Can I get some hype for some Hype Cave action coming up here? I'm excited, and hopefully we'll get a map check, too.
I mean, Mini Moldorm was sort of a snooze, so yeah, maybe.
All right, 5 items here. We're gonna start off with a piece of heart, and Cross is taking a death warp on this Beamos. I like it.
I think this isn't gonna work out like I think. Oh, hook shot in Hype Cave. That's hype.
That's super hype. Yeah.
That's our Death Mountain access. That's our Hera access right now.
It is, and we're a mirror away from being able to full clear Swamp Palace as well.
Was prieR gonna make a play on Pod right away?
This could be Pyramid. Yeah, this is not bad, kind of knocking out some of these overworld locations. Maybe we'll see him, take a quick dip over to Catfish, because some players are reluctant to head in those directions. Like we saw prieR skip Agina, but we got crossproduct checking that out. Those out-of-the-way locations can come back to bite you.
Absolutely.
If you miss them. Oh! Wow.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if Cross is gonna go to Sahasrahla, though. That's the weird thing about all of this.
It depends on when they find Mire, because you can really put together Pod and Eastern, which means you can take a look at Sahasrahla on the way. That could end up working out for him depending on where Mire is. That's hilarious.
That is amazing. But if Mire is like mitts locked, then we're gonna have some problems.
Knowing Cross right now, I bet you he's thinking that puts him ahead. He has no idea that the other glove is behind Sahasrahla at this point. He's like, no one ever goes here until near the end. Oh, look, here's a glove.
Where is Cross going right now? Is he
I think
going
he's
to the
going
back
right
of Escape?
No.
Is he hula-hanning? Maybe there's a hula hand. I don't know what's going on.
Wait. Oh, there was a map check. I saw Pendant Skull Woods and Pendant, what's it called? Mire. So those, I didn't see which one was green though. Hold on.
Skull Woods was green.
Oh, and Pod is our other. Yeah, so there you go. Pendant, Skull Woods, Pod, and Mire. So at least Turtle Rock is required.
And we got prieR taking that hook shot right up to Death Mountain. Lots of items over here, but he doesn't have the mitts, so he can't do the Dark World part of this. And we know it's in Agina's cave.
Alright, Cross is going to finish the water stuff. We'll see what's there. Keep an eye on both of our runners right now, each checking new things.
I mean, he just farmed up all that cash, so might as well spend it.
You don't need too much cash in this game aside from the 500 for Zora. You want to make sure you keep 110 to go visit Kiki if you want to head on over to Pod later, and a few rupees to do the mini games, although you'll also get rupees from doing the mini games.
Ooh, I think that might have been our first bottle over on the Zora ledge.
Oh, yeah, okay. Go take a visit to the sick kid when you head on over to Village Valcast.
Lots of cash up in Death Mountain here. Not so much at Zora.
Not even picking up the 20. Like, nope, I don't want a refund.
Cross gonna grab that bottle that looks like a rupee.
Ooh, the single arrow for prieR.
Pulling ahead. Nice quick bomb jump from prieR there to get across. Nice shortcut.
Cross is gonna turn in this bottle. See what we got. Nothing good on the Skyloft for prieR. Just a red rupee.
Alright, will Cross take this opportunity to just jump straight into the Dark World? We do have a completable Crystal Thieves right now.
That's always nice.
Mm-hmm.
I hate Pendant Thieves, so having a Crystal Thieves, you can safely go in there knowing you have to beat it. Although with a hammer, it's sort of annoying.
Hey, but maybe we could find a sword in there or something. That would be nice.
Yeah. Unfortunately, either runner cannot beat Skull Woods currently because you need a sword. It is a pendant dungeon, but, you know, again, no guarantee. We don't know if this is a Ped Seed. We don't know if there's anything good in the back half of Skull Woods. So it is an option eventually.
Nice quick big key for prieR here in Hera, so he can just head right up there. Probably see this lobby chest too. Ether Tablet was not worth, so he has that information. It's nice that you're able to actually read those tablets with the book.
Yeah.
You know, before you get that Master Sword to be able to collect it.
Yeah, I think it's a little early to determine our Ped potential. What do we got? Can't be Bow, can't be Cane.
Could be Mirror.
Always be a medallion. Could be Mire. And we do need Mire for Swamp.
And it could be Boots.
Boots are required. And there's the bow for Cross.
And the red cane for prieR and Hera, so both of these guys going to dungeons and getting some amazing advantages. Really nice play. And that is a pendant Skull Woods as well.
So we know where the gloves are, both of them. I think that unlocks the pedestal for us. I mean, they need Lantern and a sword still to beat Skull Woods.
Wow, that's really fascinating. Huh. But I really don't know when prieR is gonna go to Agina's cave. It might be a while, like until he gets Boots.
Yeah.
Or something. Or until that's his last option.
Because ideally, you'd want to do that when you go do Mire. You would complete the Mire section. Maybe you have Mire so you can take a look at the checkerboard cave, and then you go down to Agina. That's gonna be out of the way.
Yeah, I can see Cross getting his glove upgrade a little sooner because Eastern is a crystal.
He had a fairy bottle. I forgot. Oh, that's a shame. All right, there are 2 items in Hera. It looks like there's one in the basement that prieR's going to go do now. Cane, of course, really important for him to get. It's one of our required items.
Well, look how quick we got our first crystal. This is like sub 25 minutes. prieR's picked up the first crystal of the game. It's pretty amazing. So Cross has not gone to Hype Cave just yet. That might be what he's considering right now. And maybe that'll take him to Palace of Darkness, but that is a pendant.
I can sort of understand why Cross has decided not to do Thieves right away. I mean, he's only sitting at 5 hearts. Hammer Blind is no fun. He already used up his fairy bottle, so he doesn't even have that safety. So maybe he wants to wait a little bit until he gets a sword or at least more hearts to tank it. Oh, just a bomb upgrade for prieR in the basement. But hey, 1 required item and a crystal, not bad.
Sets up that Death Warp because he's got a little bit more to check up here. He can do the Spiral Cave. Doesn't quite have the items to get through the Spike Cave just yet. Alright, and Hookshot for Cross. That was just a quick dip into the Hype Cave there. Now where are you going? Maybe this is Death Mountain for Cross?
Yeah, ideally, if you want to use the flute and get a health refill, you want the old man to be unlocked. It's a lot faster than, save and quit to Sanctuary, because then you have to do the walkout.
Yeah, definitely. Alright, so Spiral Cave here only has bombs. So where does prieR have to go, Jet? Like, where should he want to be going right now? I mean, obviously we know he needs to get that glove at Agena, but where do you think he might be going?
Village of Outcasts. Hopefully with a dip into Skull Woods for him to get that bow.
And I think you're right. That's exactly where he's going right now.
So he'll have the bow. So we'll have to see if he opts to do pod or if he'll just go do Eastern instead.
Or maybe we'll see that play on Thieves.
Now for Cross, he's using the hookshot to sort of figure out where he is. I recommend actually using the boomerang instead, just because you can walk a little bit. It sort of helps you figure out where you are. He took a save and quit, which after you grab the old man, resets you to where you pick up the old man. Makes it a little easier to figure out where to go in the dark.
Yeah,
he's using the
he's using the bow to light the way.
Oh,
not a bad plan. And there it is. Nicely done.
All right, prieR is heading on over into Skull Woods, so he'll get his bow shortly. Looks like he's doing the back. It's nice to start with this entrance if you have the mirror, because then you can just mirror back rather than having to deal with a bunch of rooms. But unfortunately, just the map here, which means he will have to fall into one of the pits in order to get the items over there.
Yeah, if you do get that key in that chest, that can speed up your traversal here, but he's going to get his bow very soon, and I'm sure he's going to be happy he made this dip. This is so fascinating, having found gloves in completely different places.
Oh, all right, so for the pedestal hype index, we're of course looking at a medallion. We mentioned Mire and boots. So I would say it's lowish, maybe low medium.
It kind of is, but at the same time, as you mentioned, we basically have what we need to actually collect the pedestal item, which gives it a little bit of a bump, I would say.
You know what? It could also be a sword. It could be their master sword.
Oh, that could be devastating. It definitely can't be their fighter sword, though, because Skull Woods is a pendant. They're gonna find another sword somewhere.
And we already looked at one tablet, so that's not a sword. Because that's a neat thing to see. If both of the swords were behind the tablets, that means you had to have found Master Sword in order to access, the other sword. So we don't have that situation here, is the point.
Crossproduct catching up there, grabbing his single arrow. We got
There
Sea
is-
House with
Ooh,
our first
Vamos.
medallion.
He might be heading on into Thieves soon.
Yeah, it looks like he wants to do it, already opening it up. I mean, he's got a good max health at this point. And we've got Red Cane and Hammer to get the job done. There's some more health. Nice.
Yeah, this should be fine. Although he doesn't have the safety bottle.
Well, in a way, neither does Cross. I mean, he can fill it up, but he has used up that fairy.
It's true. Alright, there are 4 items here in Thieves that you can get, in addition to all the typical dungeon items. There's one of them, just a big red. Big 20. Now with Hammer, they will be able to full clear this dungeon, so no problem to get everything.
And I think this is Cross actually going to Hera now. So kind of following in prieR's footsteps up here on Death Mountain.
He might have been setting things up so that way right after Hera he can go into Spike Cave. He is going to have some trouble though. He won't have enough hearts and he won't have the safety. You need a blue cane or a cape in order to get through it. So I don't think he'll be able to do Spike Cave, but he might have been setting it up just in case.
With full health and a fairy in a bottle, I think he would have actually been able to make it, but he no longer has that fairy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because you do get some nice iframes when you do get revived by a fairy. It's actually, the game is really generous with the iframes.
It's interesting how much more difficult these rooms are when you don't have boots. Like, the game really expects you to have boots early on, and it was designed with that. And so you get something like the room prieR just walked through. He walked through. It's brutal when you have to deal with those enemies there.
It is. A lot of enemies you can just kind of dash through, but the thing is they don't have a sword too.
Right.
That makes it even harder on top of that.
I think that was our second item, so still nothing in Thieves.
Taking a little bit of damage there. It's got to watch the health, but there are a few opportunities to grab some hearts kind of towards the end of this dungeon in Blind Cell. Cross trying to quickly set up a bomb jump, playing a little ring around the rosy with that orb. But
It's worth a try.
Yeah.
2 hearts for prieR. He really does have to be careful. Unless he gets a sword here, this is gonna be... I guess you can use Red Cane. It's not too bad. I would say Cane strats are better than Hammer strats on Blind.
Well, I think they're certainly safer because you do get the range.
Right.
More money.
So given that, there's no small key, which means prieR can't go to the left. That actually means the small key is sitting in the big chest. Don't even need to go open it. Well, you can, but...
Yeah, I love that can happen. It's so, fun to just be able to skip certain chests in the game.
Yeah.
And that can happen in a few different dungeons.
Alright, are we getting Hammer strats? Oh man. Let's keep an eye on prieR, see how this goes.
So he's swapping over. I like the swap because you can kind of set it up while Blind is recuperating.
Oh, careful. One hit with a head, I think will... Actually, he has blue tunic. He might be okay still. But
Yeah.
fireballs do 1 heart no matter what.
I think everything is going to do 1 heart here. He's doing a good job dodging all these fireballs.
Come on, 2 more hits. Oh, only 1 more hit for him though. Come on, no! Oh. So close. They swarmed him at the end though. They were like both gunning right where he was standing.
With a bunch of fireballs too, and Blind wasn't helping at all by being all up in the top of the screen. So he's gonna give it another shot. That is not a big time loss because you can actually just walk right back to Blind's room.
Yeah. Although it might
that
put
is
you on tilt a
unfortunate.
little bit, depending on if it happens multiple times. Like we don't want to see this happen multiple times, certainly.
Oh yeah. Let's not see that. Let's go prieR.
Cross is setting up a death orb. But I think he finished up here, so I'm not sure what he's gonna go do. All right, prieR. He's down to phase 3. 5 hearts. 4 hearts. Oh, come on, man. You got this. You got this.
Got another hit in. It's really
Switch
good.
the hammer. All the risky strats.
Oh, one more. Yes!
Oh my gosh.
So clutch. There's a fireball in his face.
It disappeared right before it hit him. Oh man, so that's the second crystal part. Cross just beat he beat Tower Hera, so he has 1 crystal. And looks like he's heading to Eastern now.
That's going to be really good for him because I think he's going to do Eastern and then hopefully, if he remembers, jumps right over to Sahasrara and we'll get those mitts.
I know the tracker Cross uses is the one that he designed himself, which includes a map. It will show you where things are based on what items you've selected on your tracker. So it can sort of show you what's open, what's available, what you can get to. So unless he misclicked it, he should see that Sahasrara is open to him.
That's absolutely right.
And we got 3 items here in Eastern, and the boots!
Whoa! What are those in the first chest in Eastern? Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Could have had that right away.
So that's our access to Desert. We can beat Desert now. We can beat Eastern. Not within logic because we're missing Lantern, but I imagine both of our runners will be fine there. Still need Mire for Swamp though, and we need a. No, actually, they can get once they get the mitts, they can actually do ice.
Oh, that's very true. Ice Palace. It is a crystal.
And they can also do all the pendant dungeons but Skullwood. So we can actually beat most of the dungeons currently. We need a sword in order to access Turtle Rock, in order to access Mire, and in order to beat Skullwoods.
Technically, we do need a lamp for some of this stuff. There's a blue cane in Eastern. A lot of items here. Nice safety. And that does open up the Spike Cave now.
All right, where are you heading to, prieR? Gonna put that bow to use. Looks like he's also heading into Eastern to get some boots.
All right, so these guys will kind of be even on the boots front. That's great.
So right now, prieR needs to make his way over to Agena to get his mitts. He also needs Ice Rod from Hobo, so we know that. For Cross, he needs to go visit Sahasrara to get his mitts. And that's basically it. And then where was Bombos? That was in Thieves, right?
It was in C-shaped house.
Oh, C-shape, right outside, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't even know if that's needed yet.
Right. There's going to be just one, well, maybe more medallions required. I guess if we, depending on what's required for, you know, Mire and Turtle Rock, like maybe we do have to go into Mire to find our Mire. If it's on the pedestal, hint, hint. I
think we have an item on Armos. Now, Cross could opt to fall into one of those pots right there for fairy, because he is sitting at 2.5 hearts. And of course he can't use fire rod right now because he has no magic.
Oh, he picked up the small magic pot, but he got blocked.
He missed it, yeah.
Uh-oh. He's panicking.
The best thing to do is actually leave the room and go back in, because the mimics, or not mimics, the Igors will reset themselves.
I think that's what he was trying to do, because he was kind of at the bottom of the room there, but those Igors are relentless. They'll just keep coming at you.
Now, I think Cross is ahead in terms of beating this dungeon, but prieR does have the crystal lead, so overall, it's really hard for me to say who's in the lead. Cross will get mitts first, probably.
Very likely. Yeah, but what's also interesting about this for prieR is this is going to open up the Pyramid Fairy, and I think that might be something he does immediately.
So from prieR's perspective, he can beat Desert. That's a crystal dungeon he can do. You mentioned Fat Fairy, so we'll at least see that at some point. He's looking for... That's not the one. I think that's the one on the left. Oh, that was on the right. Okay. The Igor that you need to hit is actually somewhat close to the middle of the room. You just have to move slightly to the right. And you put an arrow in him so that way you can see where he is.
And this should be significantly easier for prieR because he has a full bar of magic to be able to light the way.
Here's the difference right here. And how much easier it will be for prieR. Look at that, there's a magic right there.
How convenient.
I like that.
I love it, the blue cane strat. There's your magic now, Cross.
Hey, that saves a cutscene after you beat the boss.
There you go. Got some hammer strats for those popos on prieR's side.
So Boots. Boots was the win.
I mean, boots are absolutely required, so it's just a great thing to find them.
I'm actually curious to see if prieR's going to opt to do pod at some point as well.
Well, I think those boots are going to lead him to desert, and that's going to inevitably lead him to those mitts. So, and Cross is going to go get his mitts now. So I guess these guys are going to be syncing up a little bit. But prieR does have the Thieves Town crystal advantage, but Cross does have some of the Flipper's locked locations unlocked and does have that ice rod. So those are some of the big differences right now.
All right, prieR's heading on over to desert. He's in the right spot for his mitts. There's still one more item here in desert to get. Cross looks like he's going to head on to Dark Death Mountain. Maybe even see what he needs to get into Terra Rock.
I like this play. Gives you the information, and there's 6 more items up here as well.
Yeah. He might opt to do Spike Cave while he's here.
Oh yeah, we got a full magic refill now, and the blue cane.
He can't do Turtle Rock. He's missing a medallion. And you need a sword to even use the medallion. So he's actually 2 items away from doing Turtle Rock.
But the information's still quite valuable.
Guaranteed small key on the left-hand chest, so that way you can get to the right-hand side. So is the item over there, or is that our map and compass?
2 items in Super Bunny Cave here for cross product. Just a piece of heart and the red tunic. Nice.
Nice safety.
Maybe we'll truly see the red Santa Link for prieR once he makes his way up there.
Oh, map and compass. Lambo has the last item. I missed Turtle Rock. Did you catch it?
Vanilla Quake is the
Okay.
requirement, so we're still looking for that.
So there's your pedestal hype. That's sort of what we're reduced to. Mire and there's Lantern in Hookshot Cave.
Wow, very nice. So that puts pedestal fully in logic.
Well,
There you
until we
go.
get a sword.
True, we do need a sword. That's true. Where is the sword? We are like 45 minutes in. Where are the swords?
Welcome to Rando. All right, prieR's gonna finish up Desert here. Cross maybe gonna make his way over to Thieves. And he has Blue Cane to use as a backup if Red Cane and Hammer don't go well.
Yeah, and he'll get his Bombos medallion, which we still don't know what Mire is, and that is, you know, now available.
Right.
I mean, we need the sword to get in, but you can at least see what it is, and we can check the Mire shed.
Lambo's not too bad. You have Fire Rod. You use 2 shots on the Landers here, which gives you 6, which is all you need. Looks like prieR grabbed the small magic. But he can always switch to arrows. He can switch to hammer. He can even use bombs if he really wants. Good thing he picked up that extra. Oh, no, he missed. He missed.
Yeah, these land mullets are all over the place. They're not playing nice.
All right, we're going to see some hammer strats. I think it's 4. Wait, yeah.
I believe you're right, yes. Because hammer does do tempered sword damage.
Right.
And I know Butter Sword is on the same playing field as the Fire Rod.
For this boss.
So for this boss, yes.
Because oddly enough, the different swords, fighter through butter, it doesn't really necessarily sync up to this does double damage or something like that. Each enemy in the game has a different table to determine how much damage each weapon does. Because they thought that was efficient.
That is 4 crystals for prieR, and it looks like he's making that Agena play right now.
Yeah.
This is fantastic for him.
Now, is he going to be kicking himself for this?
I don't know, because he's been able to make such good progress regardless. What'll be more interesting is now that he has the mitts in hand, how long will it take him to get that ice rod?
Yeah. That's well out of the way currently. Maybe he can do it after ice, so we'll have to see what happens then. But yeah, we could see ice. Ice is within logic.
Might we see the Bonk Rocks here? Maybe King's Tomb?
Where is that first sword? Where do you chat? Where do you think the first sword is? Is it sitting deep in a pendant dungeon, perhaps?
Ice Palace?
Ice Palace?
We can go in there. First sword at Cold Stare? Anyone?
It can't be at Turtle Rock, it can't be at Mire. So otherwise I would say it'd be really fun if it's like we go into ice, we get not shovel, mushroom, and that leads to our sword.
That's cruel, Jet, but I like it. And honestly, I wonder if prieR will make the play into ice. Depends on your comfort level and if you want to commit to it, but it is a crystal dungeon that you can complete, and that's kind of how he's been playing.
Looks like that's where he's going.
I see a fire rod coming out.
He can do.
Yeah. This is right next to Hobo, though, and if he doesn't find the mirror in here, like, he won't be able to immediately access that.
Oh, good point.
I mean, Hobo is pretty close to Link's house, but it is one of those locations you can just keep putting off over and over.
So keep in mind, he did not get a potion before coming in here, which means he's going to use Fire Rod in order to open up Cold Stare. Since there's no half magic right now, he's not going to have any Fire Rod shots for Cold Stare. He's going to have to use Hammer. So we're going to see a fun fight coming up. Just like
though, if he gets that sword, it might bail him out, and then he can use Bombos and some Fire Rod to take out Cold Stare.
Cross product going easy mode with the blue cane on blind.
Nice and easy. 3 crystals for Cross. But he does have that ice rod advantage. He's gone up and got his lamp as well.
Make the dark rooms a little faster.
Got the safety of that red tunic.
Now, there's something else that Cross can do that prieR was unable to do at the time, is that Cross could decide to do a Frog World Tour.
Oh, that's right. We can save and quit with the dwarves. We can also check out these hammer pegs here, and then if he wants, he can come back for that purple chest, do another save and quit. It's a bit time-consuming, but if it pays off with a mirror, you know, you're in really good shape.
Yep. Now, he's not doing the dash strats. You can't do the dash strats if you're missing a sword. Otherwise, you'll just bonk. So...
That is correct.
Oh my gosh!
What?
First sword!
52 minutes in!
When is prieR gonna go back there? Oh, I feel like there's been times when prieR's been so close, but just based on his routing, like, he would, you know, steer a different direction, just missing boots, just missing the gloves, just missing the sword. I mean, that he couldn't do anything about it because he didn't have mitts at the time. But holy smokes, that unlocks pedestal for us, by the way, chat. So get excited for that.
Well, we don't know what the Misery Mire requirement is.
That's true.
So it might. I mean, hopefully it does. You know, if it's Bombos, then we can maybe jump in there. But for the most part, things are looking good. And that can only be Quake or Mirror. Or I guess Sword.
Cross memeing with his initials, sort of. It's a weird looking pig, but okay.
I think he turned it into GP.
Alright. Nothing good in ice yet. And here's the Frog World Tour for Cross. Piece of heart for prieR.
I think he just needs to do Stumpy here, and then he can save and quit.
Alright, because he's already been to Hype Cave. I mean, doing the Frog World Tour is not too bad when you have Flute. Save and quit in order to get back to the Light World, and then just flute on over to Kakariko. It's really not that bad.
Alright, so we got this infamous iced tea room. Let's see what we got here. Ooh.
Maybe.
Magic powder.
I did mention fetch quests to lead to a sword, and that could lead prieR to checking hammer pegs. Although, oh, but you can't mirror.
That's right. But maybe he'll be thinking about it. Well, he still hasn't done Dark Death Mountain, so I expect him, if we don't find Mire here, to head right on up there pretty soon.
Red Rupee, I think that was the second item. I haven't been keeping full track. If prieR has map and compass in his inventory, then there should be an item on Colts there. So let's see how prieR does here, while keeping one of our eyes on Cross to see what he turns in with the dwarf. Or not.
Where are you going, Cross? Are you going to read the pedestal?
Oh my gosh, please. Oh, prieR using his blue potion, which is good because he ran out of shots, but that way he can take a few fire rod shots here.
And he is full on health, but this is a pretty dangerous fight. Hammer
They do a lot of damage.
Rough. Fortunately, we do have blue mail, but you can see getting hit by one of the pups is 3 hearts of damage.
Yeah, if you get a choice, it's better to be hit with a falling ice block. Pedestal, just couch cast. Ped is dead. Sorry, chat. We tried.
Down to the last puff over here. Just a couple more hammer hits. He's got a pretty decent number of hearts. Takes him down. Nicely done, prieR.
Cross is calling the flute on the way. Calling the duck on the way.
Jebaited duck.
And prieR just pumping out these crystal dungeons. So now it's a question, does he do Overworld or does he do Pod? Because honestly, that's the only dungeon he has access to. But he has a number of Overworld locations that he left, like Fat Fairy, like everything else that Cross just checked.
Exactly, and we got Cross going into ice here as well. Interesting. Following in prieR's footsteps, but he, has a few more items. So he's hoping to find that Mire there. And maybe Quake. But no such luck.
I'm surprised
prieR going up the mountain too, sorry.
Both of our runners have not even checked out the Mire area yet. You don't really, because it's a pendant, you don't necessarily need to, do Mire, but there's still 2 items you can quickly check right next door.
Yeah, and you do get some information like, can I actually go into this dungeon? Like, I know I don't want to. This is probably the last pendant dungeon I'm gonna go into.
Yeah.
But, can I? Might as well know if you can, because that might be the way forward.
prieR hoping that he could have done, well, he can't even open Turtle Rock anyway without a sword, so it didn't matter.
Right.
Setting up the portal now.
But this is fine. You can access, both Hookshot Cave and the back is Super Bunny from this way, too.
No, Aghanim 1 didn't have anything. Ped is dead. Aghanim is not going to be dead yet. Fat Fairy might have something. We are looking for Mire, and we're looking for Quake. And we're also looking for one more sword.
We are. I would expect at this point, now that we've seen a good amount of the game, for there to be a sword upgrade in Ganon's Tower somewhere, but Master Sword can be tricky. We haven't found those silvers yet either.
Right.
Because if you're doing just Master Sword Ganon, that means you got to get 24 spins in Phase 4, and that is not a good time.
Yeah, no half magic. I mean, they have 2 bottles, so they will have to use that. At least they have Lantern for Torch Glitch.
Ooh, our first Mire check from prieR here. We were just talking about this. More money. And a sword! Wow!
With the sword. So collectively, we can get Master Sword.
This is the same thing that happened with gloves.
It
They
is.
found their swords in a different places. That's
Oh,
amazing.
that's too funny. All right, so we're still looking for that mirror.
This might be the Pyramid Fairy play here from prieR, and that could lead him to Palace of Darkness.
I mean, that's the big question. Where's Mire? And it looks like, I mean, if they find Quake first, they could end up going into Turtle Rock looking for Mire. That is a situation we might have.
And would be a reasonable one, but prieR does need to get to that hobo if he wants to actually do the full clear on Turtle Rock, so that could bite him if he does end up finding Quake. Cross finding a whole lot of nothing here in Ice Palace, but these are quite reasonable checks. We've seen prieR go through the same thing, so you know that's kind of even.
Well, that was that.
Pyramid Fairy, not the answer.
Did we see
Where to
Catfish?
now?
We saw prior check Pyramid, of course.
Cross went to Catfish, I believe. I want to say.
Yeah, no, okay, we did see Catfish, I remember, yeah. Oh, here we go. Prior
Okay.
is going to Hobo.
All right, this puts prieR in a really good position because he's cleared 5 dungeons, and he is now picking up that ice rod and kind of evening the field on the item collection.
Carlos has just enough magic to get through this.
Yeah, thanks to having that sword, he will be able to use Bombos on Cold Stare, and then it'll just come down to those hammer strats.
I think prior might be heading on over towards Zora. Unfortunately, nothing there for him. Maybe a heart.
But this is a good time to check it. This is a thorough way to be checking everything.
Look at those hammers from Cross. Nicely done. Hitting them when they're in a bunch.
Yeah, if you can group them up like that, then you don't have to worry about, you know, getting hit. There's no puff that can hit you from behind. You just have to worry about the ice. But he does have that blue potion, so he's gonna probably bust out the fire rod and finish him off.
Look at that. So much faster with Fire Rod. I mean, Cross does save a little bit of time with how much faster he's able to kill Cold Stare there, but he is currently behind prior in terms of item count. If he makes his way to Mire Shed sooner than later, he'll at least have a Master Sword, which will make things go faster.
Well, I mean, he still has yet to finish up Desert. That's going to be a quick play for him. We probably see that, and then that might remind him, oh yeah, I can do Mire area as well.
He might be waiting for Mire, so he could check Mire and then take the back door to the desert. That's probably what he's looking for.
Looks like we got that magic bat for prieR here.
Here we go. What is it? Is this our Mire?
I want Ether.
You want Ether? Was it Ether to get into Mire?
We don't know. I don't think he checked at all.
Okay.
But just a big 20. Cross product about to do the same, so we got a little sync here.
I mean, Cross is only behind a desert. As long as he doesn't get distracted with like Fat Fairy and stuff, it might be okay.
But that's a fairly lucrative place to get distracted, I would say.
Yeah,
I think
items. Pyramid check, because Cross hasn't been there yet.
right now, both of these guys just refusing to go to Palace of Darkness. I think prieR's about to get that Master Sword coming over here to the Village of Outcasts. Probably going to do Hammer, Pegs, and Smith, which can be a little time-consuming. So, you know, Cross gets to, I guess, get his Master Sword over.
That's funny.
In the Mire area in the meantime.
Yeah.
Also not checking the requirement. No desire to go for Mire.
Who even wants to go in there?
Oh, he's going back.
Ether!
Ether!
You called it.
Okay, so we have vanilla requirements for our 2 medallion required dungeons.
So right now, we're basically seeing a difference of a single crystal dungeon, which is Desert. A very quick check because it was Big Key on the lamp. So if Cross is in... Okay, or you can just go do it now. Never mind, Cross. It's not going to work out for him, unfortunately.
Well, it's more item locations, right? Like, he wants to get a crystal, you get one more item, and it could be Mire. And
it could. Totally.
And that's like a kind of an interesting place for Mire to be, because that means Book is required to collect it. But in this case, that's not what's happening.
Honestly, I'm feeling the pod play. I feel like that's the place to go. There is 5 items sitting in pod. One of them could be Mire or our Quake.
Absolutely. Some other options. Oh, we got prieR going to do the old man. Hadn't done that yet. Some of our other options include Purple Chest. We haven't seen Purple Chest. And we could go and beat Skull Woods, because I believe there's one item somewhere in Skull Woods. We had to kind of get to the back in order to collect it. And it's the green pendant.
Cross. I can't help it, but this is just silly. He keeps opening and closing the door because he was setting up a death door. I don't even think this saves that much time either, because you have the hell cutscene. Honestly, I think it would have been better to actually leave, go kill Lambo, and then come back in case, because you're only missing one item, and you might as well get the crystal out of the way first.
I mean, sometimes you just gotta hug a Beamos.
He's hugging Beamos again. Cross, please. Oh my gosh. If he died before getting it, like...
He does have red mail, and those Beamos just consistently do 1 heart of damage.
Right. This death might save him a little bit of time. I don't know.
To be fair, if you're like a rotating eyeball, like, statue thing, you're just kind of sad and alone and sitting there. Like, you don't get to move around the dungeon like these levers and other enemies do. Need a little love.
Alright, where are you off to, prieR, now that you took a look at Spike Cave there? Still avoiding pod like the plague.
Might be Purple Chest time.
We haven't seen Purple Chest yet. That is quite a location for Mire to be in.
It really is. Or, like, if we get, you know, Ether, Mirrors, and Mire, or something weird.
Beamos on treadmills are pretty much the worst thing, as confirmed by Ganon Tower.
This is really interesting because things are really starting to even out on the crystal count and the overworld checks. This purple chest could make the difference, though.
Alright, what do you got for us, Purple Chests? Bombs. Just bombs.
Oh boy. These land mows are not being very kind with some short hopping, but Cross takes him down in the third cycle. Not too bad, and I think prieR's making that pod play. Finally, we're seeing some pod.
So, if you do happen to use Master Sword against Lammo, you want to do spins, because Master Sword slashes actually does the same damage as Fighter Sword to Lammo. Again, because of that damage table I talked about, a lot of the Light World bosses deal the same. You deal the same damage with Master Sword and Fighter Sword. It's because of how spin damage works, and they didn't want you to do Fighter Sword spins and be able to kill the bosses faster.
I think this might be the Pyramid Fairy play for Cross, which might lead him over to Palace of Darkness as well.
It's 3 quick items. Can't blame him for this. So there's 5 total items here in pod. The beginning half of the dungeon, there's going to be 4 small keys at least in the 6 chests that you can access. 4 of the 6 chests contain small keys at the minimum.
Yeah, and one of the most annoying things about pod, at least in my opinion, is coming in here without the mirror.
Yeah.
And that's what they're looking for right now, so... Because, you know, going back to the beginning of the dungeon can be really nice.
Well, no mirror, but how about tempered?
That is an amazing weapon to find. Cross almost losing the bomb there.
Cross, what are you doing, man? Just walk. Just go. He's trying to set up if you get hit and quickly dash, or if you use hookshot and quickly dash, you can dash with the bomb. Yeah, we're still 2 items away from go mode, but otherwise our runners are probably feeling pretty comfortable. At least prieR is with his tempered and red mail and 13 hearts.
Oh, I guess Cross never did do catfish. Maybe prieR's the one who did catfish. Or maybe I'm just crazy and no one's done catfish.
No, we have seen it. It was prieR.
Okay, cool.
So as I mentioned, 4 small keys. prieR picked up 4 total so far, which is why he's checking the big key chest, just in case it's not a small key.
Alright, cross product is saving and quitting. Where are you going now?
Pulling out the flute. Pod. Pod's the play.
Alright. Well, he'll be getting his tempered sword, so I'm sure he'll be happy about that. Especially since we don't have silvers.
So, we've seen purple chest. I think... I'm trying to think. So they can't access Mire, they can't access Turtle Rock, they can't access Swamp. But we also have... So, the progression's either here or Skull Woods.
Yep, very true.
I think
we did see Spike Cave, right?
We saw Spike Cave.
Yeah. So, yeah, I can't really think of anything else.
So, Skull Woods is the Sahasrahla pendant, so that could be our mirror. Or Quake.
Or Ether.
That's what we're talking about.
But there's the mirror! Wow! In Palace of Darkness. And Cross Product is going to be happy to come here, too, to get that.
would say Cross is about half a dungeon behind currently. Like, he's going to get the Mire here. This will lead him to Swamp. For the record, I've been calling Pod for ages, chat.
You have. Pendant Pod with the value, man. It's always an agonizing decision to make, though. Because I've seen it just be completely a bust, and you don't even get a crystal for it.
Alright, prieR's leaving. I'm not sure if he got all of the items, or if he's just not gambling on Helmistar. No, Cross.
He's trying to hover? What is he doing?
There is a way you can hover over there. I know Cross has been practicing on doing the hover.
Alright, we're likely gonna see Haunted Grove and Bombo's Tablet before Swamp, maybe? Because, you know, then you can go mode Swamp. And here we go from prieR.
A couple Mire checks real quick.
That Mire opens up other things too. We've got the Graveyard Ledge. We have Checkerboard Cave.
And that's one that you can easily forget.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just looking for Quake. Quake is our go mode currently.
It is, but we'll take Ether.
That's right. Look, if you want trolls right now, we want to see Ether leads to Mushroom on Vitreous, no less. And then that is our Quake.
I'm down.
Cross-product sprite is Will from Illusion of Gaia. A very good Super Nintendo game. Cross just does the goofiest things sometimes. prieR is going to make his way into Swamp.
I mean, 6 items and a crystal. This is definitely the highest density area to be searching for things.
A lot of runners like to be able to just go mode Swamp because it can be time consuming. I imagine we'll see prieR go straight to the boss because it's faster to check all the chests on the way to the boss compared to opening up the left-hand side and just checking the 2 chests over there.
Right, but if our Quake medallion is on the left side of Swamp, you know, we'll probably see him go back in after he kills Argus to go get those items because it's coming down to the wire. It's kind of hard to justify leaving some chests behind.
Nope, not the first chest. It's like we can almost have a mini guessing game for when do you think the runners will find Quake and go into go mode. Pick a number between 1 and 50. Go.
50.
I don't know.
That might be too many, but that's a good way to, you know, be careful about it.
Because we have 6 items here. We have 1 or 2, because I don't remember the item count for Skullwoods.
I think 2 more in Skullwoods if you include the green pendant.
And then we also have a couple. Well, and then we have the Graveyard Ledge. We have Checkerboard Cave. So that's 2 more. So that's up to a dozen. And then of course Mire has 2 more if they get access to Mire for 14. So 1 to 14.
I told you that 50 was not a good number.
So if you guess 49, you're probably not going to see that guess.
All right, Cross is out of there. Maybe he's been counting items. Maybe he doesn't want to waste time with Helmistor King. He's probably going to Swamp.
Well, apparently Helmasaur did have an item, and that would have been interesting if that was our Ether Quake.
Ooh.
Oh, so yeah, we should add that. So I guess it's between 1 and 15 is your numbers that you guess. Also, I haven't been keeping track of how many prieR picked up, so that's for you at home to keep track of.
Yeah. But two
You
more
only run
chests
one
here.
game.
This is where the action is. There's a compass and a bottle.
The action.
The action.
Oh,
20
man.
rupees. The action.
So with the compass, that does mean there's at least an item sitting on the left-hand side. Might be crap, but it's still an item.
Man, this could be a really, really close race.
Yeah. Cross is going to have to make some sort of play, though, that prieR doesn't make in order to catch up. Like I said, he's still about a half a dungeon behind.
But that could come down to, you know, Ganon's tower.
Sure.
Ooh, pulling out the fire rod. This is a sweet NMG strat if you can get the double fire rod shots off and then the spin. He's trying for it. You got to give him a lot of credit for doing that.
Yeah, it's tricky. You sort of want to bounce him into the wall so that we can get another quick hit. So it's fire rod, spin with tempered will actually kill Argus that way.
10 arrows as the reward. Well, and a crystal, I guess, for killing Argus.
So where is it? Where is our Quake? Is it just sitting at Graveyard Ledge? Because that is definitely a place to sit.
Well, prieR's going right back in. Knows there's some more items in here, so gonna try to live the dream. So where do you go after this, Jet? Like, what do you prioritize out of the locations that we've talked about if you don't find it here?
So, man, we just have a couple one-offs, right? We have the checkerboard, we have Graveyard Ledge. Honestly, I would be going to Skullwoods especially if there's at least one more item there. So that would be one item in the dungeon and the green pendant. So I'd probably be choosing that over anything. But I could also opt to do Graveyard Ledge either on the way to Skullwoods or after Skullwoods. More than likely on the way.
Yeah, I certainly agree. I like that play because it's basically, considering our options, the highest density area of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Cross is making the exact same play as prieR is.
I mean, it's a way to check everything quickly when you're only one item from go mode. You just want to find it and beat the dungeon. Not waste time flooding the room, flooding the key, and all that other fun stuff.
All right, so here we go. West Wing of Swamp. Is this the answer? First chest has the big key. Uh-oh.
Oh! The dream!
The dream ether! But prieR isn't gonna get completely baited by that just yet.
Keep in mind, prieR has not even seen that Ped is dead. So he might opt to do Skullwoods first, since he can also go in. Well, he doesn't know. He didn't see Mire, did he? He doesn't know he can enter Mire.
But he might, you know, go to Mire first, thinking it's Pedestal, to complete Mire so that he can just end in Skullwoods.
Oh, that's a nice consolation prize.
The silver arrows in the big chest. Definitely worth the trip. That'll help you with that vitreous fight.
All right, does Cross head back in for 2 items? Yes. Prior going to Mire, maybe Checkerboard Cave first.
Yeah, that mirror, switching to mirror there signals Checkerboard Cave, which is great. I mean, you get to check this and maybe jump right in to Mire. And he's like, oh, Ether, I just found that. How convenient.
Like, right now, I want to see a divergence. Prior going to Mire, Cross going to Skull Woods, because that is where someone is making the right choice, and you want to just see, like, who makes the right choice.
Well, I think prieR is making that dip into Mire right now. I think he realizes that for his routing, it makes sense if it is pedestal, since he does not have that information.
Right. So he can just do it. He can go beat Skull Woods, and then he can pull Ped once he's done that.
And it's the same number of items, too. You know, it's 3 items, 1 at Checkerboard, and then 2 inside Mire. For Cross going over to head to Skull Woods, then it would be 1 item in the dungeon, 1 at Sahasrahla, and then 1 over the Graveyard Ledge. So it's kind of similar, but prieR does have the advantage of jumping in here first.
Prior already checked the shed. That's where he got one of his swords. So there's 2 items in Mire. Although he might still opt the full clear. Again, he doesn't know what pedestal is, so he might still beat Vitreous just in case. Although he didn't beat Helma.
That's true, and that also holds an item.
Man, if that is Quake...
then mistakes were made, I guess.
Yes.
But I don't fault him for it. You know, that's a long trip for just 1 item when a lot of other stuff was opened up with the mirror.
With the mirror, yeah.
Alright, so Cross with that Ether. He's going back for the big chest.
A frustration bonk, I'd like to think that was.
It's not what you want to see, obviously. I mean, we want to see it all day long, but they do not want to be seeing that. But prieR apparently did and is in Mire. All right, where are you going, Cross? This could make or break the race right here.
I think he's actually checking. He didn't check the tablet. And
oh,
other mirror
or Haunted
stuff.
Grove. Okay. This is good, though. This is thorough.
Man, still no items in Mire. What is this?
And he refuses to take a trip over to that vanilla big key chest for now. Yeah, that's the big key there. Will allow him to check the big chest.
Cross has killed.
Side.
Cross did kill Argus, right? Yeah.
Yeah. He went back in after killing Argus.
Yeah. A B bottle. Uh-oh.
Vitor was here.
So still 1 more item. It's either on Vitreous or it's on the left-hand side with the big key chest.
It looks like prieR is going to opt to check that vanilla big key chest first.
All right, where are you going, Cross? You're pulling out the flute.
Yep, make or break moment for cross product.
No, Mire.
Well, this could just be Checkerboard.
No,
But it is
he's
probably
following prieR's
both.
footsteps.
He is.
He doesn't know. Of course, from his perspective, again, this is 3 items. Checkerboard plus the 2. And he's probably hoping that going to left-hand side swamp is paying off for him, thinking that his opponent is not making this choice.
Right, that's very true. I mean, he might also... I mean, I'm sure both of these players feel behind right now.
Yeah.
How late they found the mirror in pod.
We're at 1:30 and still no go mode.
Exactly. And we still have to do all of Turtle Rock and Ganon's Tower.
All right, that was the second item for prieR. He's mirroring out. He is not going to gamble on pedestal, which actually be in his favor currently.
Absolutely.
So we still need to see Graveyard Ledge, Sahasrahla Pendant, maybe one item in Skull Woods. There's still the item sitting on Helma. I think that's it.
All right, which one are you going to do first, prieR?
I'm glad to see that at least this seed did have some trolls in it.
Some trolls?
It gave a good run.
Yeah, like an Agina Cave glove. It's like no sword for 50-something minutes.
Oh my gosh. Honestly, now that you say that, it's really making me think that Graveyard Ledge is our Quake.
Man, I've seen that Graveyard Ledge kind of destroy a lot of people in this tournament.
Yeah. If it is there and Cross opts to go there first before Skull Woods, then that could be well for him. Otherwise, you know, could be Sahasrahla Pendant. And if it's Sahasrahla Pendant, prieR, if it's still... Okay, if it's not Sahasrahla Pendant, prieR might opt to go, you know, beat Pod while he's there. So who knows?
This is interesting, because he didn't finish Mire and is reading the pedestal, didn't finish Helmasaur, so he really doesn't want that to say.
No.
You know,
I mean, if it is, you just go mode and beat those dungeons. And then
right.
you're done.
Right. Yeah, at this point, I mean, it is a good play to make, but, man, that would be rough for him.
I sort of wish it was Mushroom, because then our runners would be like, well, what do I do?
Well, like, what if you get an item from Mothula, or right here, and it's the Mushroom, and then you also get the green pendant? Like, which one you check first? Just pick one, right?
Probably Mushroom, though, because that's a quick flute.
That's true. Man, if it was a King Helmasaur the whole time, they're gonna be kicking themselves.
Do you know how behind all of our runners, both of our runners would be feeling?
It's like, not only did they go to Pod late, they left something behind. That would feel pretty bad.
We know Cross isn't going to finish this dungeon once he gets his item. Oh, but he bonks, and now it's ruined.
Look at this! The bridge is going away, man. Sorry.
Oh, it's not Mothula.
It is not Mothula. Alright. I think prieR's probably going to take that green pendant and cash that in. Maybe we'll see him jump over to Graveyard Ledge afterwards, but I would probably just cash this in since he put in the work.
That should be it for Cross. Where's he going? Oh, did he not do left-hand side either?
I don't think he did left side, yeah.
And guys, just get it out of the way. I know it's a cutscene, but look at all this walking and screen transitioning you're doing.
Oh, this is clever routing from prieR.
This is what I said. He's going to turn in green pendant, and then if it doesn't pay off, he's going to go and beat Mothula.
Like Helmasaur, yeah.
Or, yeah, sure. Mothula Part 2, Helmasaur. Okay.
So this does give Cross an opportunity at Graveyard Ledge.
I'm telling you. I'm feeling it's Graveyard Ledge. I can just feel it sitting there, taunting our runners.
Well, we're down to the wire here. There's like 3 locations left, and here's one of them. Is it Sahasrahla? It is!
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
See, I called it, Chad. I didn't say Graveyard Ledge. I said Sahasrahla the whole time.
Did you, though?
I did mention I wanted to see our runners do 2 different paths, though. Because I had a feeling one of them was going to pay off.
All right, go mode for prieR. He gets to go right up to Turtle Rock, and if it's a nice Turtle Rock, he'll find a bunch of keys and the big key pretty early on in this dungeon.
Cross is making his way towards Skull Woods. Let's see if he goes in there first or does the Graveyard Ledge check first. And don't even count Cross out yet. They are still within a dungeon of each other.
And Cross is making the right choice here.
As long as he decides to kill Mothula first instead of checking the chest. Because unfortunately, the chest was just a small key. So if he kills Mothula, he gets the item, he gets Green Pendant, and then he has to go turn in. Oh, he didn't do this yet. I thought he did. Okay.
Yeah, prieR hadn't either. It would have been funny if it was in this location, but... This is a quick check. I think you go ahead and do it.
Not picking up the full magic. Oh, he's checking that chest.
Unfortunately, sinks more time, but this is a quicker check. So I understand, like, if you find the item here, then you can go, but remember, we do have that green pendant on Mothula, so if you got the item and the green pendant, which is the case, then you're just done. And that is the key. I like the swag burn-a-dashing there from prieR.
We got two small keys in the front, and it looks like... Oh no, we can... The chain chomp or the big key chest can have the big key still. So we have two pendant dungeons where we're actually required this game.
And despite that, our runners still managed to go into the third one before they figured out what they needed to do.
Yeah, it was tempting.
Alright, I think Cross is cashing that green pendant in immediately, so... Man, no Graveyard Ledge. I'm so surprised that that was the last thing that these guys did. But it worked out, I guess.
Big key, big key chest.
I mean, a little divergence there for Cross. Gotta kill that Octoballoon.
Clearly what he was thinking.
Go mode for Cross.
I didn't look at the timer. We'll have to see what the time difference is, but we are looking at, what, 4 or 5 minutes maybe right now?
Maybe, if that might be more like 3 minutes. 3.5 minutes. Because prieR is
39:37.
Yeah. There is a gamble you can do here in Turtle Rock, and I think it'll pay off. You can skip that big chest entirely. That can save a little bit of time. And then Ganon's Tower is where you can really save the most time, depending on which way you go. And these guys aren't really going to be looking for anything else, too. They have Tempered Sword, they have Silver Arrows. That's really enough to get through the game pretty easily.
They have a B bottle.
Oh yeah, check that off the list. Nice laser skips here.
F magic. Speaking of things that would be nice to have. And butter. Why not?
Stab. Oh, safety laser bridge. Beautiful.
Okay, I really think there's nothing else our runners will need. Man, how about that sword? That is a deep, like, that sword is deep in a dungeon. But thankfully, like, all the others were, well, sort of on the way.
Yeah, that might as well have been in Ganon's Tower. Like, honestly, all of T-Rock might as well be Ganon's Tower.
Getting a 1-cycle try next for prieR.
Really nice Trinex fight. I mean, Butter definitely makes that a lot easier, but he did great. And crossproduct with some cool hookshot strats through that roller room. But that means we are going off to Ganon's Tower. There are 22 item locations available. Where do you guys think that the big key will be?
Oh, I think the bot is not working.
Oh, that's a shame, but I still want to know. Where do you think it's going to be, Jet?
The way this seed is going, it's sitting in tile room.
So you do tile room first?
My
just
real
to, like,
guess...
stick it to the seed?
No, my real guess is Bob's chest. But, you know, I was right about Sahasra, though, so...
You know what? I'm going to commit to tile room. I'm gonna commit. I'm just gonna say it's in tile room.
It's already started? Was it? Well, we'll see if it actually registers. We'll see if it works. But we do have to stop it now. Yeah, I don't know. The bot's not working for me.
Yeah, I think Thieves will try it too.
Let's count it up.
Yeah, that's the first two chests. We did find a small key on the right, so prieR is going right. Probably not going to do tile room.
Ooh, almost grabbed there. That was quick.
Almost didn't make the cycle, I think. But barely did. Cross furious at these pokies. There's chest number 3, chest number 4. We're getting lots of rupees and compasses here.
All right, it's not right-hand side. Well, unless it's tile room.
Alright, here is location number 7. There's that bug net.
Cross is just shy of 5 minutes from prieR right now, which is significant. But if he gambles tile room and it's sitting in tile room, that will make all the difference.
Oh, that would be a huge equalizer. That means prieR's doing all of this, but we got 4 chests here in the Stalfos room. There's 8 and 9. There's 10 with the small shield, and 11 coming up here with that arrow upgrade.
Did prieR not pick up the key? Did he have... Well, he might be okay. You don't really need the key, necessarily.
Well, he might need it going up the tower.
Yeah, we're going to have to see what happens here.
I think you're right. I think he might have skipped it.
So if he doesn't get... if he finds the big key in the next chest, he's okay. If he finds the big key in the random room and no small keys until then, he could be in trouble.
Well, we are in that situation, potentially.
Cross is picking up his safety items here.
It's a good thing he did them in that order. Because usually when you find that key, you're bouncing right out of there.
This is 13, 14. Here's all of our shields, by the way. 13, 14, 15, 16. No.
17, I believe.
Yeah. Oh, he went. That's what happened. Okay, so he missed picking it up.
On the right side?
Yeah.
He missed picking up that key. That could be devastating. Ooh.
He's sitting at 0 keys right now, and you want to go upstairs. You want to make sure you have 1 small key. There's no guarantee there's a small key up there.
It's possible that there's a small key in the big chest.
Oh, that's funny.
So he could actually collect it if he finds the big key over here. But that's not something a lot of people think about.
I'm a little worried for him. There's no small keys yet.
Well, we got 3 more locations here. I mean, I'm a little worried for him because there's no big key either.
If we have a small key in the big chest, a small key at tile room... Oh, dear.
There's 19. 20 is the big key. At
Oh, there's no small key.
21 is a full heart. He may do tile room.
He's going right.
A key? Or maybe he's just going to go get that key.
Yeah, he needs a key to go upstairs. There could be one up there, but we don't know.
He'll probably just go for the sure thing here. That is an unfortunate time loss there, but I think he is still a good amount ahead here of Cross, but we'll just see where Cross decides to go. Might be able to make up some time if he
Really
doesn't
hurts
do this
his
right
magic.
side play. Yeah, that too. But we have good weapons right now. We got Butter Sword, we got Silver Arrows. Should be able to make it through pretty fine.
And we actually have to walk through because the pit's are already there.
Cross going right. If he follows it through, this could be pretty big too.
Let's see. 48:20 is when prieR mirrors to go upstairs. So maybe Cross gains a minute there just because... Unless he misses picking up the key as well.
I hope not. That would be quite crazy if they both miss it. Some quick silver arrows taking care of those mimics.
Well, he does pick up the small key.
He did collect it, but he is taking the same route as prieR, so he won't find that big key for quite some time.
Yeah, he really needed to do what we call like the Dark Magician strats, where you go left to the Stalfos room and then go all the way right to Armos. It's a little slower overall to check all the chests that way, but in this case it would have worked out for him.
That's not a very common strategy. You see most players doing either this right side play or checking the 2 chests on the right and then going full left until Armos.
But it's a sort of play that you can break out where I feel way behind and I need to do something I know my opponent won't do.
Exactly. Yep, absolutely. prieR's gauntlet has been really amazing. Like, he has been just beasting through this. This is a treat to see. Great execution.
I like how Ganon falls is like a standard unit of measurement now.
It is. It would take quite a few of those to take the lead away from prieR here. Gonna need to pick up some magic here. This laser room.
You pause a moment so that way you don't cause the sprite despawn glitch there.
You really don't want that to happen. Oh my goodness.
That is
That would
equivalent
be
to like 3
devastating.
Ganon falls, so you really don't want to waste that time.
That's right. No reason to check any of the chests up here. Just gonna keep moving. Solid Moldorm 2 fight from prieR. Cross about to enter that Armos Knights fight.
Oh, there goes all his magic though.
You don't want to play around with Bob. Yeah.
Bob taking his toll. I mean, Cross might opt to go to the safety room that you bonk into with this current heart count.
Yeah, that might not be a bad idea. Having a little trouble here with Aga 2. They are just not cooperating in terms of the patterns, and lots of blue balls floating around.
Alright. Cross is 4 minutes and 10 seconds behind. That
a lot
is
of time.
significant right now.
That is a very significant amount of time. Oh, this desync is absolutely horrible here on prieR's side. He's having a bit of trouble. Needs to really watch the health now. But he's got him down.
Cross, please. Oh, is he doing the potion thing again? He's setting it up.
Oh, cool.
You can do that here as well. I think it actually wastes more time, but if you're gonna drink a potion, you might as well.
I guess if you haven't found the bow yet or something.
Well, you still need the bow for the next room, so there's
For
no
the
way
next room?
it's gonna get you
Okay.
past that. So, what just happened is drinking a potion actually, like, uncouples the camera, let's say, so you can sort of scroll the camera to the right. It follows Link rather than being locked in the room. If the mimics are not on screen, the door opens because that's all the game checks for. Is there a mimic on screen? If the answer is no, open door. It's the same glitch you'll see in Pod that we have allowed because you're not doing any kind of, like, out of bounds glitching. Drinking the potion can lead to major glitches, but our runners are not doing a major glitch by itself. You actually have to, like, go through a room incorrectly or something to get, like, out of bounds. That's the part that's not allowed. Alright, plenty of magic, plenty of arrows, Ganon. Almost dead.
Yeah, really, really
There it
nice,
is.
clean fight from prieR57. He is going to be taking the win here and going 4-0 in the Swiss stage of the Link to the Past Randomizer Tournament. Congratulations, prieR. will finish with an official speed racing TV time of 1 hour, 55 minutes, and 2 seconds. GG.
There's no way you can set up doing it in the second room because you have to drink the potion such that the camera is partially off screen to uncouple it. If you do it in the same, let's say, X position, then it won't help you. Alright, let's pull in prieR here. Hello, prieR, GG.
Hello, thanks.
I hope you enjoyed that Quake placement.
Oh my god. Yes, yes, that was twisted.
So honestly, that was a good run. It was a very interesting early game for both of you because you both went in completely different paths right away. Cross got his first glove from Agina. You got your first glove behind Sahasrahla. You each found a different first sword. It was pretty entertaining because it's like, well, when is Cross trying to hover right there? Yeah, when are you each gonna go get what the other person already had? But by the end, you were both basically doing the same thing. It was just that you happen to have a couple-minute lead on Cross, and you made good on it with a nice GT. Well, despite what happened with the small key, of course.
Oh, yeah, I marrored out a bit too early, so
Yeah.
I missed that small key, and I don't want to gamble on chest, so
Yeah.
surely there were other keys somewhere, but I don't want to gamble.
Yeah, I think it was a safe call to do that. It's unfortunate that you didn't get enough small keys on the left-hand side anyway, because it just maybe didn't even matter. But in this case, you probably needed that small key.
Yes, if small key was in Thai room,
Yeah.
that's the last one. So yes, if it was there, I needed to go back, pick that key up.
I thought you might head over to the big chest, because I think the big chest can actually have a small key in it, but I mean, who knows? It could have also been at the top of the tower, but it's just been a very risky situation, so don't blame you for it.
Oh yeah, you're right. I forgot. I always forget that.
You never even think about checking that. Like in standard mode, there's basically no reason to ever go to the big chest.
So how about those boots in Eastern Palace? What were you thinking when you found the boots in the first chest in Eastern after, you know, doing a bunch of stuff in the Dark World?
Could have been in Eastern earlier, but the bow placement, I don't remember well where it was, but that was 50-50, and I don't think I lost that many times.
So Bo was in Skullwoods. And
yeah,
just,
in Skullwoods, yes.
You basically, you went into Sahasrahla, you got your Dark World access, and then it's like, well, do you continue into Eastern, or do you go to the Dark World? And of course, you chose to go to Dark World. But yeah, so it was actually pretty funny, as I mentioned. Cross got his first glove from Agina, so he didn't get his mitts until after he had Bo, and he was able to do Eastern and get his mitts at the same time, which meant when he went to do Thieves, he actually ended up going to Hammerpeg and getting his first sword about 8 minutes ahead of you, I think.
Okay.
But it was pretty crazy.
I died in Thieves Town. I'm much confident with the sword, but
Right.
without it.
I mean, it's when you don't have a sword, it's you don't get the easy setups.
But you were able to do really well with Hammer and Red Cane once you started to combo those together. Started working out really well.
Yeah, I got my first sword about an hour in, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
So at the time, I wondered if there were swords in the game, but I finally found some of them, and all of them.
Well, he had a good cold stare as well with a swordless cold stare, I think it was. I don't think you had master then.
Yes, I did a swordless cold stare, yes.
That's a tough fight. Really impressively done. I mean, I think your execution was just on point throughout the whole seed. Like, your gauntlet was impeccable. Very nice.
Thanks.
We do have crossproduct finishing up here. So, 7 minutes behind, or I guess a little less than that, 6.5 minutes behind or something.
Keep in mind, he spent 2 minutes on memeing by trying to hover.
Okay, that's fair. But
so it was a close race.
It was a pretty close race the whole way, but I think he was kind of just following in your footsteps prior most of the way. Except that, the early mid game, it was very different. You guys were doing crazy things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty early, pretty open early in the game, but in the end, we ended up surely doing the same kind of things.
So when you found the Ether Medallion over in the west wing of Swamp, what took you to Mire over going to Skullwoods, or another option going back to Helmasaur King, or there was also Graveyard Ledge. We never saw Graveyard Ledge.
Yes, I had Mirror and didn't check Checkerboard Cave, so I didn't know what medallion was Mire. I didn't check, so that was
right. So you could check it on the way.
Checking both informations, and when I saw Ether was the medallion to open Mire, I opened and there was nothing.
Yeah, and crossproduct actually made the same play. Look at this collection rate, 181 out of 216. That is a very high number.
I mean, with how late the big key was in GT as well. Yeah, that's not 25 items, or it's 35 items. It's not a lot. Trying to get Cross to come in here and join us.
But you are now 4-0 in the Swiss stage. This is exciting. Just one more win, and you make it to the brackets. You feeling good about the competition coming up?
Yeah, like always. I will do my best. I will do my best, and hope I can get that final win to make to the bracket.
I think we all look forward to it because we've just seen some amazing gameplay from you here.
I'll try my best.
Yeah, I do want to give a quick chat. Make sure you give our racers a follow. They, work hard for this tournament and to give an entertaining and well executed run. So give them a follow.
And a major shout out to B-, who has been doing all the tracking that you're seeing here throughout the whole race. Wouldn't be able to function without him.
Aw, thanks, Alucard.
We're joined by crossproduct, GG.
Thank you.
I have to say thank you for the memes. That was pretty entertaining on your part.
Do what I can.
So, yeah, how about that Quake?
That wasn't a problem. I'm most disappointed that I died in Eastern Palace. I think that kind of
Oh, yeah.
made me feel behind, which made me check different spots for Quake that were out of order. But
So keep in mind, whenever you do that dark room, you can leave the room and come back in, and it will reset the Igor's position in case.
yeah,
you,
I
like...
tried to. You couldn't see on the stream, but I tried to make it back to the door.
Oh,
My
okay.
plan was to get the magic jar in the top left, and then light the torch to the right, which should have been a straight shot. But I think the Igor actually moved into my way in the dark.
They blocked you, which it was a really clever thing to try to pull that off.
And when I came back, I just did the standard shoot arrows at everything and made it through without getting hit. So, oops.
So both of you guys did get distracted with Mire. I mean, you found, that ether in the left-hand side swamp. You're hoping that it would pay off. So what were you thinking? Why, Carlos? We already asked prior. Why did you opt to do Mire instead of Skullwoods?
Well, I felt like the absolute last thing I found was Mire. So it's like, oh, well, this is the last thing it could have possibly been. I'm behind.
Yep.
So that made me feel like I had to check the spots that he wouldn't likely check first, which I was wrong. I guess. Wow.
Yep.
So yeah, I felt like I was behind. So I thinking that I was behind, I felt like I had to make a different play. Whether that play was good or not, the right thing to do is to make a different play.
Yeah, you were hoping to catch up that way.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty interesting. That first half of this race, you were both in completely different locations. Your glove was different than prieR's glove. Your sword was different than prieR's sword. So,
I remember I found the glove, and then the first thing I thought was, now I can do the Houlihan and farm for Zora. Was that in a Gena's
exactly
cave?
What you did.
Yeah.
It was in the Gena's cave, and the other
Gena's
glove
cave,
was at
yeah.
Sahasrahla, and you did that after completing Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But if he went that way first, that means he got boots earlier too.
No.
What? Oh, he didn't go in? Oh.
Got Dark World access, and then started doing a lot of the, Skullwoods.
I can't blame him for that.
And stuff like that.
If I would have finished Skullwoods if I had a sword. If they gave me a sword, I would have gone straight into Skullwoods and finished it. I would have killed Mothula right off the bat.
Oh,
but
man.
You know, it's funny, the very last thing I thought before checking Hammerpeg Caves was, all the swords could be in Ganon's tower. And then I opened up the Hammerpeg Cave. I was like, oh, there's one. You need one to get into
to Turtle Rock.
To open the medallions, right?
Which, by the way, was a sword. Had a sword in there. So yeah, your first sword was Hammerpeg, and prieR's first sword was Mire Shed. And honestly, both of those swords blocked behind. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, the only sword that wasn't blocked behind Mitts was the one in Pod. So. Like, it was really hard for either of you guys to get a sword before going to Skullwoods, just because it's so easy. With Pod being with Skullwoods being the location of Bow, like, why would you go to Pod when you can go to Skullwoods, So, yeah. I really can't imagine any situation where you'd have a sword the first time through Skullwoods. But, I mean, you're right. Like, it's just funny that
and Bow
that
was in there,
to
right?
be the place. How long that was open.
Yeah.
It's all right. I mean, it was definitely entertaining no matter what. A nearly 2-hour seed here. So, despite how many items the game gave you in the beginning, I like how it ended up trolling both of you.
That's one of my least favorite situations that comes up in Randomizer, where you need one thing and you just have like every single out of the way spot left to check. Like, okay, maybe it's at Catfish, maybe it's at Graveyard Lich, maybe it's in Burn a Spike Cave. Like, thanks.
Well, it's all about trying to put those together in a route, so that way you don't have to do one-offs later. It's hard. With Mire, how late it is, it's really hard to do that.
When I went into Palace of Darkness, and I said, all I need is Mire and Quake. And I said to myself, if I find one, I'm going to stay in and try to find the second one.
Okay.
But then, but I didn't kill Helmasaur for the last item.
And neither did prieR, but he was setting up to do it. He was on the way. But,
I was
picked
setting up. I was gonna
Yeah.
kill Vitreous though. If the second item wasn't where it was, I was gonna kill Vitreous. I did a little. I don't know if anyone noticed me hit the crystal on my way through the jellyfish key room.
Yeah.
'Cause I was setting up the basement in case I had to go kill Vitreous.
So it's actually a pretty funny collection rate. You guys are one off from each other. Cross, you have 182 and prieR has 181.
That's fine. It just means prieR's better than I am, and he deserves to win. No big deal.
Well, you're 3-1 now, and it's still comfortable because you only need 2 wins to move forward.
Did you win this week, Jet?
I did.
Yes, I won't have to race Jet.
Okay.
The dream.
The dream. But yeah, how are you feeling about your prospects for the 3-1 next week?
I think it'll be fun either way. Not too worried about it.
All right.
I'm gonna keep practicing. I've been working on some supplements with the music with the new MSU One support. So I'm having fun during practice at the same time. So it's fine.
Well, it looks like you're also having fun learning some hovering. That was kind
Yeah,
of cool to see.
I got the one. I got one of them.
You did. You get the one that is completely useless.
Who wants to walk around that hole and you can just hover over it?
The one on the Mire bridge that was disappearing looked a little suspect.
Yeah. Well, there are multiple problems with that one. First of all, it's hard to change directions mid-hover. Second of all, I would have had to cross 2 eye lasers while hovering.
Exactly.
They should have used cape.
You know, that is actually a useless hover because you're guaranteed to have either hookshot or boots by that point.
Yeah,
It's not
I mean,
even like a sequence break.
and you don't even need either of them.
Right.
I said to myself, "Don't bonk, and I swear I pressed up like 3 whole tiles before that wall, and I still bonked.
Oh, man. Well, very entertaining. I hope you both go and rewatch the race afterwards because it was pretty entertaining. Thank you both for your race.
Yeah, man. Good GG, prieR. Congratulations.
Congrats. Best of luck for your upcoming races.
Hey, you too. Thanks for Stoops a Card for commentating and trackers and everyone too.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Our pleasure. This was a real fun one because you guys, you kept us guessing for so long at where that quake was. Even Mire, we were wondering where in the world is this, and finally answered that. They were all kind of grouped up in the eastern pod area.
Whoop.
So with that, I guess we're gonna close things out. Thanks again to our tracker B-, and thank you, Jet, for jumping in with commentary with me. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks, Alu. All right, have a good one, all.
See ya.